Team USA has the three faces of the 2010s. They have all NBA talent 1 through 12. They are invincible, at least on paper. When the game starts, being invincible on paper means nothing. Does this squad have what it takes to make up for last year's embarrassment in the FIBA World Cup? More importantly, this is not the same Team USA of the past that won gold. We will debate why they could be the best Team USA ever assembled. But first, let's look at who the US is trotting out this year. LeBron, Steph, and KD, the three best players of a generation. Backing them up are Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, and Tyrese Halliburton, maybe the four most exciting under 30 American players. You've got Bam Adebayo and Anthony Davis, the two most versatile big man defenders the country's got. Embiid, a former MVP, no biggie. And the closest thing the team has to a weak spot in Drew Holiday and Derek White, not superstars in the traditional sense, but two defensive legends who might prove more valuable than anyone's predicting on this roster. Not to mention the three best coaches in the league. Steve Kerr, the superstar whisperer, Ty Lue, the game manager, and Spo, a competitive psycho who also happens to be the smartest basketball mind in any room he's in. If they want to go with a three-point barrage, they can go with Steph, Halliburton, Booker, White, and KD. If they want to load up on size, they can go LeBron, Ant, Tatum, Bam, and Embiid. If they want a killer defensive lineup, they can roll out White, Drew, Ant, Bam, and AD. Seriously, if you take out 5 of those players, they still might have the most dominant roster Team USA has had since 2012. When LeBron said,
"We have a lot of great players here in America, so."
You talked to some of those guys?
We basically heard Captain America yelling, "Avengers, assemble!" LeBron hasn't played in the Olympics since 2012. Curry hasn't, ever. KD is always hooping with Team USA, but he skipped out last year, being in his mid-30s and all. That being said, is age this team's kryptonite? Steph is 36, KD is 35, LeBron is 39 years old. The dude just watched his son get drafted, and now he'll be hooping against the world's best 27-year-olds? On the 1992 Dream Team, Jordan was only 29. The entire roster was in their prime, other than a post-prime Bird and Magic, who were only 35 and 32 years old. But those two were also 6th and 7th in minutes played on the team, basically serving as the elder statesmen. This year's team might revolve around KD, Curry, and Bron. Obviously, sports science has tremendously evolved in the past 30 years. Statistically, the trio isn't far off from their prime. Even if it's clear they aren't the same players they once were, they legitimately deserve a spot on this Olympic roster. But Kawhi Leonard already dropped out due to injury concerns. Sixers fans are probably begging Embiid to head home. Older players generally shy away from the Olympics. The 08 Redeem team was led by 29-year-old Kobe, 26-year-old Wade, and a 23-year-old LeBron. What if the old dudes can't hang? A 12-month season is long. Just ask Yao Ming. But that's why depth matters. It's not like Team USA is trotting out Chris Paul, Dame Lillard, James Harden, and a team full of 30-plus-year-old players. Outside of the big three, the team is still fairly young. Steph, KD, and LeBron are still capable of putting up buckets in a way we've never really seen in NBA history at this age, but they probably won't be carrying the load until games get tight. More importantly, this team has what last year's didn't: experience. Young teams rarely win titles because they lack true basketball IQ. Last year's FIBA team lost out on even a bronze for the same reason. This team does not have that same weakness, but can they still be upset? The United States is a massive betting favorite with minus 400 odds. Far behind them is Team Canada at plus 900, who beat out the US in a gut-wrenching OT bronze medal game last year. Then is Serbia at plus 1100, France at plus 1400, Greece at plus 1800, and defending international champs Germany way down at 2200. Which of these teams is most likely to pull off an upset? First off, Canada. Outside of the United States, Canada has the greatest representation in the NBA. They have SGA, who finished 2nd in MVP voting last year. Plus, they have Jamal Murray, who always steps up in big moments. with great role players like RJ Barrett, Lou Dort, and Dylan Brooks. That is a tough matchup. The US has Canada and star power, but a team full of guys who know their roles is scary. There's Serbia, who you can never really count out for one simple reason. They have the best basketball player on the planet Earth right now. They have a few nice role players and some familiar NBA names, but if Serbia upsets the US, it'll be because of Jokic. That's the same reason you can't really count out Greece with Giannis Antetokounmpo, but you can also kind of count them out. Sorry, Giannis. Germany is the defending champion, led by Dennis Schroeder and the Wagner brothers. It was surprising when they won last year, so they're not the US's greatest threat, but they shouldn't be forgotten about. Australia always brings it with guys like Jock Landale, Josh Giddey, Joe Ingles, Matthew Dellavedova, and a few others, but France's roster is straight up terrifying. They will be trying out Victor Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert, the two best paint defenders in the league, and in international play, there is no 3-second rule. This is like the Morning Mutombo Georgetown team, but on steroids. Which team do you think has the best chance of giving the United States fits? Will it matter, or is this team just too dominant? Let us know in the comments. That's what the 2004 Olympic team said, and look how that turned out. Even with Tim Duncan, the best player in the world at the time, plus Allen Iverson, young Wade, young LeBron, and a bunch of All-NBA talent, the 2004 team was an embarrassment. Sure, they didn't have Kobe, KG, or Shaq, but come on. They lost to Puerto Rico, in their opening game by 19 points, the largest loss ever by the US in the Olympics. That game ended a 24-game winning streak by Team USA. They also lost to Lithuania and later Argentina, who won the whole thing behind the strength of Manu Ginobili. The US fell to third, but even that is better than what they finished with last year. And the truth is, competition has never been harder. Yes, everything is debatable, just like the GOAT debate. Just like the MJ LeBron debate, all comparisons are a matter of perspective. But the rest of the world is objectively better, and a few stats tell us that this year's Team USA is the best ever. Now, the Dream Team is iconic, having turned the NBA into a worldwide sport and maybe being the best team ever assembled, but they also had no competition. That's the flip side of having kicked off overseas hoops. There wasn't basketball anywhere else until then. Hence their 30-plus point victories in almost every game. Even the NBA media had something to say about the Dream Team.
This would be hugely embarrassing because the way this team is being viewed and hyped is one of the best Olympic teams the USA has had ever. You're going to compare them to the Dream Team, to that Redeem Team. Other than that, they are right up there. So now, if they do get knocked out before winning the gold, the reality is that there are other teams around the world that have, if not caught up, certainly been able to escalate and get closer. I still think the USA should absolutely win this tournament. I think they're the heavy favorites for a reason.
The 2008 Redeem Team brought reigning MVP Kobe to lead the team with a lot of prime talent that complemented each other. The world was catching up, but international stars were basically still a novelty. Spain had the Gasol brothers, France had Parker, Argentina had Manu. You had Dirk, Yao, kind of Steve Nash. But now, there hasn't been a US-born MVP since 2018. The world has caught up, but the roster currently constructed fits perfectly into international play. Steph Curry might be the X factor of his squad in his first ever Olympics. If he can stay healthy and play throughout the tournament, no one can guard him. Plus, Team USA has never had a shooter quite like him. Steve Kerr will definitely have some plays for him to go off for 6 threes and a quarter. But who else will be stepping up? Comparing this roster to past rosters, will LeBron be the 92 Bird or an 08 Kobe? In other words, will he be the wise old man who plays 6 minutes at a time? Or will he be the resident superstar taking over the team? Anthony Edwards has already been compared to 08 Wade, the Redeem Team's highest scorer who had a career year after taking home the gold. Tatum might end up the 92 Barkley, who unexpectedly led the team in scoring and became the most popular player on the planet for a few months there, giving him a little juice in the 93 MVP voting. Everyone is assuming a Team USA win, but what if they lose? The rest of the world is better at basketball, and that is good for the sport as a whole. but it makes it tough on Team USA. When the 04 team lost, it was a bit of an asterisk. Kobe was dealing with his Colorado troubles, Shaq was out of shape, on the heels of playing 4 finals in 5 years, and in the middle of moving to South Beach. The league as a whole was weak, so they focused on young stars to a fault. But then they came back with the 08 Redeem Team. When the team lost in FIBA last year, no one was that shocked. The 2 best players were Jalen Brunson and Anthony Edwards, who hadn't quite reached their peaks yet. But guys like Cam Johnson and Walker Kessler filled out the roster. This was a post-Paul George Team USA injury where dudes just didn't come out with the same fervor. But like with the 08 team, the stars reunited to fight to bring home the gold. If Team USA loses this year with this roster, it'll be new territory for the nation. We've never had 2 disappointments in a row. Where do we go from there? Do we just accept that the US is no longer the singular superpower in the sport? Whatever happens, the pressure has never been higher for Team USA. Do you think they can pull it off, or will Canada, France, Serbia, or another team pull the upset? Let us know in the comments and watch how Team USA did the impossible next. Listen to The Wrong Opinion, useless NBA trivia, and garbage rankings for more NBA content.